I'm stuck in the trenches of motherhood that I will never escape. I wish I had gotten that abortion.
So if you want to hear the full story, go back and watch it and then come back. But I'm going to give a recap in a second. As per usual, we look at everything here through the lens of the dark feminine. And the reason why we do that is because we as women in this world have been conditioned to be doormats and to be open, to be used for any and everything. And we allow ourselves to do that. So to deprogram ourselves and condition ourselves in a way that we can make smarter, healthier choices for ourselves is by prioritizing ourselves, which means sometimes you have to go to the extreme opposite of what you've been conditioned to do so that you can scale yourself back and ultimately get to the balance, get to the goal, which is balance. So long story short, husband, wife is 30, on birth control. They travel in the world, agree to be child free. She wants to get a more permanent birth control, i.e. IUD, goes to her IUD appointment, found out she's pregnant. Immediately wants to abort the mission, tells her husband. Her husband bamboozles her with an intervention with both of his parents, both of her parents, and ultimately they convince her to keep the baby. Okay? Now again, educational purposes only. I am neither your mother nor your God. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to show you how dark feminine works in everyday life, using me as an example in what I would do. Okay? Educational purposes only. Let's go. I'm going to break this down into 3 sections. Preventative dark feminine, decisions you can make to prevent. Why this is so difficult for women and why we choose things that go directly against what we know is our good, is for our best. And then post poor decision, dark feminine, and why that is perfectly acceptable when you tapped in with your dark feminine. So first, preventative measures. A, you are an autonomous being. You do not have to discuss your body with anyone, including your husband and or your parents. She should have never, let me rephrase. I would have never told my husband, my boyfriend, my baby daddy, or whoever he was that I was pregnant if I knew I wanted to abort the mission. She should have kept it to herself. Her body should never be up for discussion with anyone, especially when it comes to having a baby, because it is your body. And people cannot help you. People can only speak to you and give you advice based off of their understanding and their perception. They don't know you. Right? She should have never said anything, quietly aborted the mission and kept on with her life. And when you don't feel guilt and shame, that's why you have to tap into your dark divine feminine. She could have kept on without a stride, never saying anything to him and not feeling guilty about it. Why would you feel guilty? It's not his body. Women have to understand that men are not your friends. Your husband is not your friend. Your parents are not your friends. And them in-laws, well, depending on what kind of husband you got, they might as well be your enemy. And anybody who is going to help assist you in doing something against what you know is best for you, don't tell them anything. It's none of their business. But why is this so difficult for women, right? Why is it so difficult for women to make hard choices that is best for them? A, because you don't know how to center yourself. You are not a priority. Everybody else's opinions about your choices and the shame and the guilt that comes with that is a priority over you. Stop it. Your dark feminine will allow you to prioritize self. Sometimes prioritizing self is also making a selfless decision. It's not always about making a selfish decision. It's about what decision is the best for you. Women find this difficult. In this case, again, I'm not making any claims. I don't know that lady. I'm not making any claims to what happened, but this is what I believe, and this is what happens to women all the time. She valued being a wife more than she valued not being a mother. She knew that if she would have went and aborted the mission after her husband told her not to, and her family, that her marriage would have been pretty much over. Period. So women have to learn how to make decisions for themselves and be not only comfortable, but be joyous in your ability to be powerful and sovereign and autonomous. Take pride in it And you won't have time to be worried about guilt and shame. Had she never said anything to him, she could have kept on going with her life as usual. But as a husband, women need to learn that men are not your friends. And any opportunity they get to control you or tether themselves to you in a deeper way, they will. And they are often operating off of raw nature, just like some women, but raw nature. So they can't even help it. It's not anything to hate men over. It's something to understand so that you are comfortable in the decisions that you make as a woman who deals with men. They are wired that way. They don't even know sometimes that they're doing it, so you gotta know. Women centering men more than they center themselves will always be problematic for women. And until women are willing to deconstruct and dismantle this train of thinking, you will always find yourself a victim of your own poor choices, pointing fingers at everybody else except the one who is most responsible, you. It's your body. And nobody should ever be able to shame and guilt you into doing anything that you don't want to do. I had to have this conversation with my own mother last week. I'm like, listen, there is not a soul on this planet who can make me feel shame or guilt or make me care in any fashion about what their opinion is on my life or my decisions. Nobody is equipped because you're not me. Women have to move into that space. Tapping into your dark feminine is how you move into that space. And eventually you move into a more balanced space where you know yourself so much, right? You know how to navigate certain things. You know when it's time to make a selfless choice or a selfish choice. None of those things are a thing for real. Everything just is. And as long as we continue to take on these trains of thoughts, it's going to continue to be our problem. And we're going to look up and be miserable. She says she's stuck in the trenches of motherhood. Now, let's get into post-poor decision dark feminine. What I would do, I would pack my shit and leave. I would change my name to Casper because I am a ghost. Like a thief in the night. I will always advocate for women to quietly leave. Since that man adores his daughter so much, let him raise her. And the reason why I say that is because my dark feminine leads me to believe that the child is better off. She's done enough damage. You incubated that innocent baby in a womb of disdain. And as long as I have breath in my body, I will always judge mothers. The gloves will always come off when it comes to children. And as a child-free woman, there ain't a soul in this world who can stop me from talking about mothering, talking about children, defending children. There's nothing you can do about it. It's my pleasure. I do it for free. Because so many mothers don't even think about these things. But then have the audacity to say, oh, you're not a mother. You don't get to talk about it. The fuck I do. I can, I will, I shall. Because clearly mothers don't notice and they don't think about this. It is totally unfair and cruel to incubate a child in a womb that hate her. It is better. And that baby, everything that you think, you feel, that baby hears every conversation. That baby downloads everything. That hatred she has for that baby is downloaded to her. And she didn't learn her lesson. She didn't learn yet. She ain't all the way honest with herself because she's blaming the baby. She said the baby ruined her life. Your husband ruined your life. And you allowed him to. And your parents ruined your life. And you allowed them to. The best thing, in my opinion, that I would do would be to leave before she do more damage to that child. That child know that she is being raised by a mother who hates her. And that's why the baby, she's like, oh, I showed the baby kindness and respect. Like she talking about an adult, a random person in the store. Like that baby knows you hate her and she hates you right back. Except it's not fair to the child. Please use your dark feminine to become autonomous, sovereign, and powerful, and be comfortable and happy with that power. Join Patreon.